Okay, everybody, welcome to Be Named. Huh?
I'm impressed.
With what?
That was insane. How am I supposed to compete with that?
Craig, if you're looking to compete with anything at any level with me, you're always going to be facing disappointment. That's why I'm always trying to spin you in your own directions. But this is the mother A, huh? To be named. You know, there's some people that still go, well, are you going to eventually name it?
It is named.
And I go, yeah, eventually, maybe. Woo! Anyway, episode 12. It is October 16th. We are T-minus less than a month for the new PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. But hold off, all right? Because what do we do here first? We talk about video games and pro wrestling and other such pops like PVGA. And my name is Jason Matthias Swinchok.
Matthias?
You can, in the interweb esports world, I'm known as JS_Havoc. Make sure the A's a 4, Greg, okay? Mm-hmm. That's my thing, okay? My PVGA shirts are going to have PVG4, so they know that's me.
This is one thing I'm missing in your little new backdrop there is your T-shirt.
I will get it. It's not. I don't have anything on the walls yet in here. So
okay.
I mean, we'll get
all
to
due time.
We'll get to that because that's in the video game portion. All right, I'm still telling the world who I am. You know, I just had a conversation with my dad this week, and we were talking about me talking too much, and I need to learn to shut the fuck up more. And it's in my notes and let you talk more. But this is why you can't, and I have to always do the talking. All right.
I gotta give you a hard time. That's what I'm good at.
All right. With me as always is pesky little friendly ghost. All right. Okay. He's like a gnat, folks. He's always around buzzing.
I'm kind of like you see a new Progressive commercial with Casper in it? That's me. I'm the one trying to get you popcorn that's going to spill it all over the place.
You're the one that's going to go get the food and forget people's drinks.
I definitely will probably do that. 100% likely.
Anyway, so why don't you just ease us in to the video games portion of the show?
Sure,
so that I can do my magic and respond.
So I do have something I would like to say. So I'm a little confused on this whole. So they're saying that 99% of the games from PS4 are going to be available on the PS5, right? As like backwards compatible. But from what I'm picking up over the interwebs, digging in through more and more, I'm noticing that they're actually going to charge you for certain games like $10 for it to be backwards compatible. Now, what are your thoughts on that personally? Because I think it's kind of shitty if that's really how they're going to go about it, saying that everything's 99% backwards compatible, but then go ahead and charge them $10. Plus, you still, have to use. I think it gives you the option to use a PS4 controller. I
think that's two mutually exclusive things. Having the capability and having the cost of that to pay for that capability is two different things. So we can't just say it's a tit for tat. I think them saying 99.9% of the games will be backwards compatible. They don't say for free. Okay? They don't say for free. Xbox doesn't say you're getting the entire, Xbox One didn't say you have the entire library, but some games can be brought up. I feel like this, if you're going to re-download or a digital title, they have to put that stamp somewhere on there. That's a convenience.
I understand that, but at the same time, people who have Xbox 360 games, all they have to do is pop an Xbox 360 game in their Xbox One, and boom, you're backwards compatible. Like, why can't it be the same way with PlayStation? Why does PlayStation got to go and be different and charge everyone $10? I just feel like that's kind of like a quick money grab.
10 years ago, I would say, yeah, but in this digital age where we can see the system, I mean, 10 years ago, a digital version of a system we couldn't have imagined because everyone was like, man, I don't know how long would it take me to down, And I always had fast internet, but I'd still be go, oof. Here's the thing. There's no this generation is a unique generation coming. It's the first consoles in the history of consoles that there is no major launch titles to get excited about. Is the new Halo coming with the Xbox?
Not that I know of.
So I don't even know if those guys are getting in like a big long. I mean, we're getting Spider-Man, but Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be amazing. It's going to be a 9.5, but I don't know if it's going to be a console seller. We'll have to wait and see. I think that's why this is so important, and this is such a big discussion now. And I love everything that's coming for free. I know Mortal Kombat 11's coming day one with almost no loading times, native 4K resolutions, and an enhanced upgrade visual system. Well, I don't even know what that is, but I want it.
Being a huge 2K fan of myself, that's another game that as soon as the game's launched, it's available. Obviously, GTA 5, which we talked about a few weeks ago, that's obviously going to be on there day one. But yeah, like you said, there's really nothing brand new that just came out is going to be coming to PS5 that day. That you're going to want to buy. Very second. So I get that, yeah.
And also in the history of games consoles, and I've seen a lot of them release, all of them. There's literally when we go to pick these things up, and I don't know how it's going to work at GameStop. There's only going to be 10 of us there. The PlayStation 4, there was 100 people. It wrapped around the store. And everyone had the console, and there was like 6 or 7 good release games like Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed 4, the Black Flag. And this generation has nothing.
I agree with that because I remember the day that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. I remember getting the midnight release of that, and I remember the owner the store manager was getting yelled at from the people at Walmart being like, hey, you guys are like right in front of our door I'm like, well, we're having a midnight release. What the hell you want? Like you want us to circle around or something? Like
I just really want the damn thing to work smoothly. Day one, I want it to be fast. And I really think that our software is really pushing this generation because I think people are getting so good at making games. These things are becoming works of art. And I think that pushed this generation. 4K, and now digital's going to push it. And you know why, Greg? Because porn went digital. And I know that you're going to say that has nothing to do with anything, but pornography, this is true fact. Google me and look it up, folks. You're here to learn something, and I'm here to teach you something. Pornography dictates what format the masses will use in the movie industry. They chose VHS over beta. VHS won that war. They went DVD over Laserdisc. DVD won that war. Okay? They went Blu-ray over HD DVD. Even though Microsoft was pushing it, the porn industry dictated Blu-ray. And as soon as the porn industry went digital, full, I can now, anything is ever on my phone you could want, then gaming chased it. Now everything else is chasing it. And you know what? I'm done. I'm done for the night.
Well, so something about the digital thing I want to get to is like a lot of people can order their shit on Amazon or people can order from Walmart and have it shipped or pick it up, have them take it from Walmart and have it shipped to your house that very same day. Yeah. So a lot of people aren't going out and enjoying the experiences that we had back then, which is sad to see. And I think I get to it all the time. That's why I buy most of my games physically now, because I like having the physical copy of the game in my hand. I like looking at the box art from time to time. It just gives you some old school nostalgia. That's why the Streets of Rage 4 Sega Genesis fucking box set, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, boy.
I never felt like I was Sega back Genesis in 1990.
I don't need. I know.
So, so next, though, you said next gen is right around the corner, though, and I mean, I'm like rather excited for it, but it's not something I'm gonna go out of my way to pay for right now.
And I remember feeling a little bit like this during the PS4 launch, going, okay, okay, some games I can jump on into and start playing, but nothing like that. Great. Thank the powers. Black Flag was good. That was my first Assassin's Creed game, though. But something you said, the memories and the process of going out and enjoying the shopping and the touching and the playing. And I remember a couple weeks ago you posted with you and your brother looking up at those GameCube screens and hurting your neck.
Yeah, like at the Walmart. Oh my!
I have those feelings too, but the world is a changing, and I'm not one of these people that are fighting this. I go out a lot less. And if you're a person that has occasional social anxieties that have crept up in my life, I kind of like this. I can order stuff. I can order a sandwich from Gecko now in a case of pop with a bottle of Advil, and it can be delivered in my house in 25 minutes. Do I want to go stand in line anymore? I'm going to one last time. I'll have my mask on because I'm not one of them guys either. But is this the way? Would you touch a controller? Would you touch a controller in Walmart right now on a display?
No, God, no.
How many people out there would? However you feel about Corona or not. Listen, when I started working at places, I bring a big jug of antibacterial in, and everybody always laughs at me. And I said, well, you can laugh when your asses are calling off to me, and because you're sick, that's why I have this in here. It's funny now that's requirement because people are dirty. People are dirty. Anyway, video games.
We get it dirty. I like to get into something about
I wiped every box
dirty
down.
Customers.
I wiped every box down when I was unpacking things with antibacterial wipes because some of this stuff was packed up over a year, and I heard Corona can live for 73 years on stuff.
Oh, shit, for real?
I don't know, but might as well clean stuff like it can.
Walmart better be listening in, get their shit sanitized more. I'm sure
I know this much. There's probably going to be another line at Walmart that night, and Walmart's going to get about 50. PlayStation 5s, I bet. I already got a few people asking me how to get another one. I really don't know. I haven't been looking. I know I secured myself one, and that was all I was really working. And it was months ago that I did that. So
you were on it. You were on it.
But you know what? To keep going on this more isolated way of life and people staying in more. I've been recently going through Death Stranding again, and I won't spoil anything, but the game is very it's about packages and people getting isolated from each other, and you know what? Let's go back. Minus the BTs in the game, I'd like to live in that world. It'd be pretty nice,
It's a very beautiful world. It's just the idea of sending packages over and over again. I was like, yeah, I'd rather smash.
Oh, the gameplay can really be an easement. The gameplay, I don't defend it. You either dig it or you don't. I find my enjoyments in it a lot, but I also find it to be on the repetitive side. But sometimes repetitive grinding games can put some ease in my head.
And we got into that before. We enjoy the grind of games if there's something worth the grind for. That's why Destiny was so popular. That's why right now Avengers is so popular. And
I don't want to go on a tangent on you.
So you want to talk about a game that is probably dead to water, but I'm getting into because I'm enjoying the grind since I quit playing RP is Fallout 76, and I've been grinding.
This is why you need to add me. Don't repeat our gamer tags. Hook up with, listen, Pastry Kings still is grinding hard in 76. If you come back, I'll come back. And then if we come back, I know Whitlatch will come back.
If you want to do it with me, I'll be more than happy because I'm trying to get Anthony on it too. Anthony's going to be coming on Fallout 76. He was talking about it.
Who's Anthony?
Anthony Brunn. He was one of our. He was one of.
What's his address?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay, what's his phone number?
Let me see. No, I'm not giving you that
either. You never know with you.
Well,
anyway,
Anthony, he's catching waves.
Death Stranding has a grind if you want to go out with it. But if it didn't have that mind-bending, blowing story that I love so much, and it's so well acted, it's what saves it from me. But in another note, when we were talking about me and you love grinding, I did, and this will fit into this fits into our podcast. I bought WWE Battlegrounds. It was like $29 at Target. Or no, what is it? $39? It was it was $10 off. So it was $29. I got it for $30, and it's a $40 game. And it was like, what the hell? I picked it up, and I tell you what,
it should be priced at, but.
It has its many, 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 many flaws, but I loved the grind to unlock my Hollywood Hogan.
The biggest icon in wrestling.
I'm going to unlock Gallows and Anderson, my boys. Shout out to the GBs, I was Bullet Club fan number 2 in America. You understand it? R.C. Dupree is actually the first. The truth be told, R.C. Dupree introduced me to the Bullet Club around 2013-ish, right after it formed. That's a true. That's a shoot right there.
I see R.C. Dupree. I'm asking him that.
Yeah, you can. He knew
I
loved NWO, and he's like, "You're gonna see this dude." Styles just took over, and I'm like, I was like, "Oh, I loved it." And I went all the way back and watched Finn do everything. But anyway,
I like to pick his brain.
For $30, it is a fantastic game. Okay? I think every review should say this. This game might be broken. It's fixed now. It's playable now. It's janky. It's this and that, but it got better. But it's a bargain-priced game. It's $40. There is a lot of content on there for $40, so I don't really see the hate for it.
I have seen a lot of the WWE superstars on their YouTube pages have been playing that game, and as good as it does look and as fun as it looks to play, me personally would play for a couple of seconds and be like, well, let's go do something else.
Yeah, well, it's a divisive game. Yeah, and I mean, I just think there's a lot of content there. I think it's better than the last time I bought a WWE mainline game.
You can buy a WWE main game, and it's not going to have half that content.
No. Well, I mean, it would all be in who knows what. Fake songs and Titantrons and stuff I don't want.
I will give you
we want one thing in wrestling games. Let us customize our own entrance music. The last generation had it so perfect. Yeah. Well, the Xbox, since the original Xbox came out, solved that problem perfectly. Put a disc in with the songs, rip it, done. On your hard drive. I'm coming out to Korn in Raw 2, and I can't do that ever. I can't. Why can't I do that?
That was a really cool thing to do. I remember. I think I came out to In the Club by 50 Cent. No, but
listen, I did do that. Chad came out to is it Party Up by DMX? the whistle.
Yeah, I know where you're at.
Oh man, my cousin Scott came out to Welcome to the Jungle. It was cool.
But there's a game that will be coming out relatively soon. It actually is featuring a lot of independent wrestlers called the Wrestler Code, I believe. And so be on the lookout for that. It's a lot of independent guys like Brian Pillman's in it.
Retro. It's retro. It's a retro arcade. I know exactly. Hold on. Let's talk about it because I post a lot on JT Swin Gaming on Facebook. I post a lot about it. I know exactly what you're doing. Where it's a spiritual sequel to the old arcade wrestling games. It's called Retromania. Yep. Retromania is an official sequel to the 1991 arcade classic WrestleFest, coming to Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And then they do a ton of stuff as far as they just posted like Jeff Cobb versus Big Stevie Cool. And there's a ton of people in it, but that's how I found out about Warhorse, actually, because I saw him on here, and I was like, "Oh wow!" But I can't wait for that because
they just released on their Twitter. I noticed they just added Gangrel.
Yeah, Gangrel's on here. Animals on here. I'm looking at footage from here. Colt Cabana, Brian Myers. Nick Aldis, Warhorse, Austin Idol. I don't know. That's it. So you know what? There you go.
It's gonna be something to look out for. I know I've been following this. I think I've seen. I wish I could remember exactly who it was. I want to say it may have been Ray Phoenix or something like that. I think I've seen him and Pentagon sign it. So I'm interested to see what's going on. It's been about a year or so. So just keep an eye out for it. I think that's going to be a good game to kind of.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think if you're a wrestling game and it's action oriented. Nothing against Fire Pro Wrestling, but boy, I wanted to love that game. But geez, I mean, it really wants you to simulate a dance with another person, like true. I think a wrestling game needs to stay in the beat 'em up roots if it's going to stick to wrestling.
I can agree with that 100%. I want to play a wrestling game, not a DDR Revolution 2 inside of a wrestling game.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Corey.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, what else you want to rap about during this this video game section? I'm trying to think what else I'm playing. 3D All-Stars is really good. If anybody, wants to go back through Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, I know my nephew screamed like a high-pitched squirrel when he saw on the iPhone that I had it. But they're pretty good. They are emulated. Don't know if I don't care about that. So but it's cool to have them on the go.
You can have them and play whenever. If you want to get into Switch games playing, I've been diving back into something I've been playing for a long period of time. Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh, I love Fire. I love
it. I think Anthony, shout out to him again. He is the one who I went to his house and he's like, check this out. You want to buy this? And he showed me him playing like the first couple of missions. I'm like, why do I like this game? Because it's not a game I like. Those kind of games. Those kind of games I don't really care for.
Oh, I like Fire Emblem. I like Fire Emblem a lot.
Did you tell me about it?
I told you about it when we worked there. Yeah.
You may tell me about it, but I think I needed to watch actually someone play it.
For shits and gigs.
I just kind of screwed you out of that. I apologize. All right.
That was me that actually recommended Three Houses to you because we discussed it, and then who would dare call Josh Sabatini is going to call my phone. You want to put him on air?
Yeah, fuck it.
You know what? Okay, hold on. Let's see if it. I don't know what it does. It might blow this up. It might blow that up. Hello. You're live on the podcast right now, so speak up.
What are you? Why? I think you're filming on a Friday.
Don't worry about when my schedule is.
What podcast is this?
To be named.
Which one?
Oh my God! First of all, listen. Get a connection and get a clue. Call me later. Bye. Love you. He was saying what he did. So yes, we can take
first phone call on the To Be Named podcast.
We can take phone calls. Stretch your mouth. That was the biggest surprise. I'm glad that worked. I hope no one heard it. But anyway, speaking of Fire Emblem, Greg, you know what I have right here?
What's that, buddy?
Get that up there. I don't know how to work my camera yet, folks. But anyway, stage right, it's all real crooked here. Anyway, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Hey, and if old JS Havoc has it, it's complete.
Ooh.
Look at this.
Probably pristine too. Ooh.
No, I don't know.
There's not too many people that can say they have a complete.
I mean, there's one or two, but it's not bad.
You're also talking to a guy who's temporarily blind at this moment in time.
Anyway, I am. I'm a Wii collector. You know why? Because you can always pretty much get whatever you want. And the Wii has about, 100 good solid sleeper titles. Plus, I have my GameCube collection, which is up there. Someday we will get into that. A couple of them are actual originals that I still had.
Some OGs.
Yeah, and hey, unboxing a lot of this stuff. I'm looking at things, and I said I had to get rid of in the last episode. I had to get rid of some things, and I did. I brought a huge box of stuff to my nephew, and I just got to start narrowing what I collect. My PS4 is out of control. I have so many hard copies of games and digital copies. I'm going to start leaning towards, if I have a digital copy of it, I will not own the physical.
It's a smart move. I try to make sure I don't do that. I know I ran into a problem where when I had my Xbox, I had Xbox digital games, and then I had Xbox physical games, but then I would have the digital version of it on PlayStation and the physical version. It's all scrambled. Like, I thought I had Mafia 3 physically. Turns out I have it digitally. So it is what it is.
It's hard to keep track.
Dude,
that's the problem with the digital.
When you're a video game collector and then you start dabbling into the digital games, this is shit that happens. You don't know what the fuck you have anymore.
Yeah.
All I know now, so it got to the point where if it's released every year, I buy digitally. If it's something that comes out every couple years, well, then that's when you buy it physically.
I guess you got to start establishing rules, or then you're gonna go broke chasing everything you want.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's been about 20, I'd say.
Oh, that was maybe one of our longest video game segments we've had so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we encompassed a lot. Took a first phone call.
Hopefully,
either way, I'll fix that in post. You know what I mean? I'll add something cool. We'll say a lot cooler stuff, And I immediately blame him on the connection because he's the one with that. He's the one who lives out in the boons. So pro wrestling these days. We got back from the most recent IWC show, Winner Takes All.
We did, and it was phenomenal. That was a great show.
Really good show.
Then again, I say that about every IWC show that we've either been.
Say that about everything in wrestling ever.
I just love it. It's hard for me to be kind of turned off.
Yeah, because you're a mark.
So if you do something that really turns me off, well, obviously then I'll have something to say. Or something just like really idiotic or stupid. But generally, if you do your job, and I see. If I could sit there and watch a match and I can see something different that I haven't seen, I'm already into it.
Yeah.
I like things that are different. If you can show me that you can do something different every time, well then what's there not to love about every single match? That's why everyone loves wrestling.
Does everybody love wrestling? I don't know.
Everyone I think everyone should. I think a lot of people get over the idea that it is fake. So I don't know. I don't know what's fake about a guy jumping off a Hell in a Cell cage onto a body or getting put through a table. I don't see how that's fake, but it is what it is. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
It's not fake. It's a satire. Okay, it's a satire on real sports, and it's a satire on storytelling. It exaggerates everything in sports. All right, if it's in wrestling, it's bigger. All right, it takes the small championship belts back in the day, the world boxing, and made bigger, and McMahon did a lot, made everything bigger, and that's when it's its best forms.
He made it entertaining. He made it a spectacle that you're gonna want to see.
The question is not like, here's the thing: people should stop asking, and the question is not, is it fake? I don't go into Terminator 4 in the theaters and go, "Don't worry, everybody. John Connor's okay because this is fake." Okay, I think that conversation goes by the way of like maybe little kids, you need to have that, or like maybe when they learn Santa's not real.
Maybe, but
I don't know.
Knowing that it's fake, and I know whenever I found out that they weren't actually hitting each other, I was like, man, that kind of sucks.
I don't know what you're talking about because the wrestlers that I know hit for fucking real.
Well, they're not supposed to, but they do. But the idea
you light me up. You fucking light me up in a match. Light me up.
I agree. Well, that's how some people like it.
I don't want people to walk out here and go, Craig Jason can't sell a punch and Greg sucks at throwing them. Great.
That's
Yeah, great. Yeah, great.
Punches. But and it's just the idea, because I know my good friend Chris is like this. He's like, oh well, it's fake. I'm like, well, what's like? And then I just said,
and he's not your friend anymore.
What's fake about being put through a table? What's fake about jumping off a cage? I'm like, how can you not find the entertainment in these guys doing these crazy acrobatic skills and pummeling each other for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time? Like, there's so much joy in wrestling that no one can understand, and it's just like it baffles me. And that's why I'm glad we actually have a platform on this show to talk about.
You either love it or you hate it. If we loved ballet, which I'm sure there's people that have ballet podcasts, I just guarantee it.
I just hope there's at least one of our listeners, maybe even two of them, that just go, you know what, maybe wrestling is not that bad. Maybe I should give it a chance. Like
since I was little, I liked the acting. I liked the dramatics.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Star power.
Like, who didn't like the Ric Flair oversell? When you punch Ric Flair, he walked 2 steps and falls on his face. That was the greatest thing ever. It was hilarious. Was it real? Absolutely not. But you know what? As a fan, you're gonna watch Ric Flair fall on his face. You're gonna want to watch.
Yeah, but you were too young to realize that's a spot. That's a Flair spot. And how many people think about this too? Flair has a unique spot where he takes the bump every time. Think about that. How many wrestlers? I mean, you'd have to have some, maybe they're smart, but maybe people can answer in the comments or whatever. But how many wrestlers does Shawn Michaels have one where I think he flips up too or something? I don't know, but like
they did have that match that he had with Hulk Hogan where he oversold all of his moves because of some backstage controversy, if you're considering that.
Yeah.
There was that one on a dark match, and this is my favorite oversell. Is with Shawn. It was Shawn Michaels and Triple H versus Randy Orton and Batista, I believe. And Randy Orton put his boot up. Triple H goes for like a double, or he went for like something. Comes down, he takes the boot to the face and just kind of like stands there and just like this. And Shawn Michaels in the corner, like blowing, trying to push him over. You don't remember me seeing that? I'm sending you that link later.
No, but that's not the same thing. I'm talking about someone who has a spot in almost 98% of their matches. Someone that has a spot where it puts over the other person all the time.
Okay, yeah, that was just funny segments I was referring to.
No, I'm saying that's how innate of a heel Flair had in his arsenal, that here's a move where I make myself do this specific idiotic thing every time because the crowd loves to see me out of it and whacking and getting a fucking beating. I know who does it. I know who does a really good sell like that too, but it might not be a spot. But Scott Hall used to way oversell. You know what I mean? He'd jump around, you know what I mean? And a Scott Hall would take a damn an atomic drop.
Okay.
And he would always oversell if someone would give him an atomic drop. And I always thought that was cool.
He did it so, but I don't think anyone's sold better than, I don't know if you know this, but The Rock and Stone Cold used to have a bet on how well The Rock sold the stunner. So that's why every time you saw The Rock, when he took a stunner, sell it. So
what smart dark web page did you pull that from? That's some internet. When that was invented 2 years ago when someone made those memes up.
My sources, I can say, thank you, What Culture.
I thought you were going to say Steve Austin's sold, because I never seen him sell anything.
No, it was whenever The Rock did it. He said if he sold it enough to get the fans to pop, Stone Cold had to buy him a case of beer or something like that.
Well, you're talking. You can't judge an industry. You can't judge an industry's history and judge its statistics by the two of the people that go off the charts in every direction.
It was whoever sold their finisher the best would get a case of beer. So, fun fact.
I'm just waiting for the sound effects to stop clapping because it was so good. Out factory. Yeah. Anyway, highlights of that IWC show. Some things that stick out. I'm going to just go at it right now because I know you have the roster of generic good guys. You like generic good guy A and generic good guy B versus random thing.
You can't say it because I like the Bulgarian guy. I can't ever remember his name. That dude's a fucking whole cannon. Boskov. It's a weird game. It's not something that I can remember in my little tiny brain I have.
The next time, don't bring it up ever. I don't want to have to erase that because then it's embarrassing for that person. Katie Arquette saw her have a good match. That was the first time I saw her in singles. Mm-hmm. She had the crowd.
I've seen her plenty of times in singles action. She's always impressive. Plus, she also did the research on her and Joey Janela match. That was also really good match as well. So I had expected nothing from the best from Katie. She's one of the next IWC girls who's I think is going to be on the up and up, like a Britt Baker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a Raylan.
Absolutely. I always forget about Raylan. I am actually going to watch the David Arquette. I want to watch You Cannot Kill David Arquette because I think it's very. Here's the thing about this is, I watched David talk about this thing and I saw some things he said, and Josh pointed this out to me. Josh sent this to me and was like, you need to look at this. And
he was talking about this at the show, and I was
David Arquette. He loves pro wrestling. He doesn't want the blemish on David Arquette and wrestling to be he doesn't want to be the most hated person ever, and he thinks he is with the holding that WCW title. I mean, and when we're at a time where Mark Henry, they had Mae Young's given birth to a hand from Mark Henry and the Undertaker. You know what I mean? I don't really hold that against him. Anyway, he's working back up through the ranks of the indie shows. A few months ago, it might have been last year, the Bucks actually ran into him, I think, on BTE and gave him a super kick down these steps. It was a good bump he took. I liked it. But he's not looking for help from anybody. He wants to earn this because it really means something. And it's like, hey, look here, right here. I'm not even reaching out to his, I think Katie's his niece. Just not even like going that route either. Like this dude's like, hey, I'm in here.
If he's gonna do it, he might as well.
He's going to try to prove himself, and I hope he does enough to redeem whatever demon in his heart is saying he needs to do more. David, from me to you, buddy, I think you don't have nothing to prove, man. You were in Scream, one of the biggest horror franchises in all time. You know what I mean? Deputy Dewey,
Fun fact about Scream, my original Ghost named Greg idea was based off the Ghostface killer.
I'm glad you changed it because that would be terrible. Been cool.
Well, I was afraid
30 years ago, you'd be the coolest dude around.
I didn't want like copyright or any of that jazz, so I'm like, I probably should shade away from the ghost face and go more like my actual face.
Cool, Greg. So, cool, man.
Fun fact.
Cool. I didn't know the middle segment was weird shit about Greg segment.
You only get fun facts here at the To Be Named podcast. Let's just call it that.
Well, half the time maybe you get fun facts.
Fuck you, Jason.
You know what I mean? I don't know what else you get the other half. Anyway, moving along with that show, Patch jobbed it up to your boy Brian.
I wouldn't say he jobbed. He had a very competitive match, though he did lose. He even said in his post,
I want to save time
tweet
to talk
he says he wants to focus more on his dieting and whatnot. And I said, hey man, do whatever makes you feel comfortable, but don't lose the same swagger. Because I'm a huge Johnny Patch fan. Also, it was our first guest on this show, so I'm a little biased in that sense as well.
Well, you got to let him work his story too, and maybe he has something planned. Maybe I just would like him to, let me give him $500 and let him buy some new trunks. All right, let's put a little blacked out trunks. Let's put a little new jazz behind him. Maybe a loudmouth manager right standing behind him. You know what I mean?
That's what you've been petitioning for. I love it.
Well, I mean, then we realized I'm way too big. You know, it'd be like Wardlow. He don't need a Wardlow. You know what I mean? He doesn't need a Wardlow getting his back like MJF. You know. But anyway, you know, good job to him and Brian. Whatever I know about entertainment and business, I still don't see the fucking point putting the belt on Pillman. I see him every week on Dynamite with his stupid head there looking with the gun club. You know, and where's the fucking belt? What is IWC getting out of fucking having that belt on him? He doesn't fucking, does he wear it on Dark? Because I don't fucking watch Dark, but here's where it's not on TNT. And if I can't get the fucking TNT rub from this, well, why the fuck are we doing it?
I agree.
We let Campeones fucking in Mexico. We let Kenny wear the belt one time up there when he was the world heavyweight champion. So put the fucking belt on your fucking shoulder, Pillman. You fuck.
And I think we may have discussed this a little bit on.
And right now, all the lawyers are probably like, you're just being a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we talked about this a little on Saturday. I'm sure there's some sort of agreement where they have or whatnot. But at the same time, like the belt that Kenny had that was from Mexico wasn't really featured all the time. Like it wasn't like Kenny was just walking around with it. He didn't really come out with it. He was named. They gave him the title of the champion, but they didn't necessarily say, you know, and show you clear as day that he was this. I want to say it was.
Yes, he did. He wrestled Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, but that was in a match for the belt.
Yes, it was. It was for that belt because Sammy also wrestles in AAA. Sammy had a cruiserweight AA belt when he first got here.
I think you're mishearing me because I said that besides when he actually defended the belt, because he defended it 2 different times on AEW. One was against Sammy Guevara, and I want to say the other time was against Pentagon.
I don't remember the second.
But those are the only 2 times that you've seen that belt on their television program. Other than that, when he had matches,
the problem is that here's the thing. Here's what you don't understand, Greg.
The title over his overlay. They didn't give him the actual title belt. He didn't walk out with it.
You can't compare the AAA fucking Campeones belt to the fucking IWC Super Indie belt.
I completely understand, but
the Mexicans have the TV time on their show. They can compete with money with AEW. They're probably bigger in Mexico. They're the biggest in Mexico right now. But besides Lucha Underground, if that thing's still going. So my point being is that they need to fucking give the rub down because 90% of that roster comes from these fucking indie shows. And I'd say a good 25% of that fucking roster is IWC guys.
I have to agree with that because if you ever noticed, they haven't making.
So why can't we put the fucking camera past them, pay for whatever fucking rights, and so Jim Ross says, "Oh, there's the Gun Club and the IWC Super Indie belt," or let him fucking bring it to the ring.
I guess I can see
that's what needs to be fucking negotiated.
Well, also these shows are filmed weeks in advance as well, but then again, that's not an excuse. I get where you're coming from, but I'm sure there's some sort of contract or some sort of obligation that foresees that happening. I'm sure.
Where's his fucking social media? His thumbs broke? Where's his fucking social media with the belt? Huh?
I wish I would do. I haven't. I don't. Being someone who follows Brian Pillman on social media,
how many times you see the fucking Super Indie belt on his fucking social media?
I haven't seen it at all. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
You got a good
point. How many times you see it on Johnny? I'm not saying Johnny Patch and Pillman. I get who Pillman is. Again, pedigree and politics is where Pillman is. Not taking anything away from the kid's hard work. Patch all over that fucking
I
social
agree
media.
100%. Now that you say that, that kind of actually does kind of irritate me a little bit because like I said, I followed Brian Pillman on social media. I haven't seen the IWC Super Indie belt at all.
That's it. That's what I mean. His last fucking big hurrah was on with Madden. So, either way though, it was lovely. It was lovely seeing Wardlow make his big champion spot at the end. Plumber, nice bumps. You got your you get the tables moment out, and he took a nice bump. Regulators, they know how I feel about all of them, and
they should.
Mr. David Lawless, thank you for accepting my friend request. And I tell you what, This dude, Max, is a smart MFer, dude. Posted some stuff up today about he was quoted in an article about concussions in the NFL. Now they're going after the NCAA now, and how he found some things like in 1948 the boxing, some kind of boxing commission was saying that there could be, future head trauma. And I'm thinking, man, and then when we met him, so soft spoken and so appreciative, and then when you see that guy out there, like, he is a hashtag heel. And I love his style. Big man, come in, do some big moves. And then you got LaRusso as well, who's also the other fucking lawyer. He's a lawyer, as he's the other lawyer. And so now it makes, like, everything his kid does in New England, like, that's a smart son of a bitch right there. And I've watched some of LaRusso's, Professor LaRusso's, where he watches some of these old matches, and he talks about the psychology. And I heard him ranting as far as, these racists using, like, kayfabe excuses, to use that deep Southern styles to be and he was just like, I just think you're using kayfabe to be a fucking racist at that point. And I think he made a lot of good points. So I follow these guys, and I love their showmanship. I think there's something as a heel with what we're trying to do. I'm always on the learn. I've been studying wrestling for damn near 95% of my 41 years on this planet. And they're good, Greg. They are good. And that's not even bringing up Jacques yet.
I do love watching their matches with you, because you ooh and all over these guys like I do over looking at pictures of Kelsey Monroe on the internet. So,
hey, Josh was getting into it last time too.
Josh was. I think Josh
we
was buying into
the whole last match. You had to stand.
The out of the three of us at the show, two of them were team regulars. One was team IWC. It's not hard to really pick and choose who was who, because obviously, I'm much of a fan of Andrew Palace, and I trust in Justin Plummer. So,
well, the difference between me and you, Greg, is you believe that if the regulators won, like, IWC would have to go away because you're Mark.
It would have been shut down, and that's where I was going to get at.
And I go, listen, you got to understand that I don't take. You're hoping for the win. I'm watching how good these fucking heels make their loss more satisfying to the crowd. Just the little things. And I told Max this when Lawless pulled that tattoo up and he was showing the crowd. Did they not? They were popping. They were going. Were they not going shit down bottom? They hate that him and that tattoo. And I just little things like that. You watch them. And I think we can do a lot more interesting things with Johnny Patch if he was a heel. I think I could really, really, really work with him as a great heel fucking character that would shine. It would shine. Be that Daredevil, but let's be the Dark Devil, maybe. You know what I mean? Something. I don't know. I'm going to get back in the labs and work on it. Right now, this guy's like, all right, let me get a PFA against PVGA because he said he whether he wants my help or not, he's giving it.
At the end of the day, IWC wins. IWC is not shut down, thank goodness.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness.
Thank goodness. No matter whether it was kayfabe or not. The neat thing about watch wrestling with you. The neat thing about watching wrestling.
Okay, for the record, you can't say that. For the record, there is kayfabe. You can't say if it was kayfabe or not.
The nice thing about watching wrestling with you is
I'm going back here the rest of the show.
The nice thing about watching wrestling with you is I get like the little kid part where I kind of like just giddy and just enjoying everything going on, enjoying the faces, and you're the one like being like, oh, you're giving me all like the business and the idea of it. And I'm like, oh, this is great. There's not one bad thing about watching wrestling with you at all.
No, because I get it. Listen, I learned this a long time ago. When you want to be in entertainment and you want to entertain, the best thing you can learn sometimes is learn how to be just a fan and enjoy yourself in the moment. And I like wrestling because I can shout, I can scream. I purposely look for kids in the crowd, you see, and I get them going, I'm like, let's get this son of and then their parents look at me like, then their parents get it, like I get it. And my job's to be the loudest IWC fan there because I'm doing my part in the show. Our part when we're there. We can talk about whatever we want, but our most important part of any of their careers is screaming and cheering for any of them and popping when we need to. And I'm a crazy mofo that notices more things, and I'll pop on little things. I pop when the heels do it because the crowd's not popping at heels. I'm trying to teach that crowd somehow figure out how to boo that damn good leg drop over the top rope, because they're all going, oh, and I'm going, yeah, that hurts, yeah. So, you got to get everyone in. I believe me, I don't have to. They don't need me there to do it, but it's a lot more fun. And that's what it's about, man. For $25, where are you going to go and get a better show for your money?
Exactly, and that's
when you're getting then I got to tune to AEW, I get fucking Orange Cassidy versus I don't know what's going on in my life, Cody Rhodes. I have zero interest in the Cody Rhodes character. Congratulations, I don't even know what you are. Okay, you're not going to let Orange go over, so whatever.
Still good match.
Oh, the Bucks are heels now. Okay. It's been about 2 years too late, for a year too late.
I don't think the Bucks can be heels, even if they tried to.
Well,
it's like the whole Chris
Jericho heel is tongue in cheek.
Can't be a heel because no matter whether he's a heel or he's face, everyone's going to love him regardless.
Well, that's when you transcend. Whether like Hogan, whether people loved him as a heel and loved him, The Rock transcended, loved more as a face though, but still loved as a heel. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's when you transcend because the Bucks have done a little. The Bucks have a very special way of tongue in cheek. With the facial, they pantomime. Look it up, pantomime. Mm-hmm. They will credit. The entire elite will credit Hulk Hogan as the number one pantomimer. No, he could sell it, bro. You look, and he could get that reaction. Hulk wouldn't know what happened when there was a twin ref. That's what it is. And the Bucks have found that perfect way to do it.
I get that because every time Matt Jackson makes a facial expression, whether he's doing something or he's getting something done to him, that makes me feel like, oh, I felt that, or like he's really cocky on how he's go ahead and punching someone or kicking him in the face or whatnot. Like he has that presence, I guess you can say, in the ring, and his face just says it all. So I get
they both do, and
they both do. But Matt's the one that I see.
They actually credit Frankie Kazarian with teaching them how to talk in the ring like that, and I like it because Kenny did it too, and like you're dead, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like they
suck it.
Yeah, they heard Frankie Kazarian saying something so cheesy, and they said they popped so big, and Kaz didn't even remember saying it. And they were like, dude, you said it was the corniest thing, but you said it with so much swagger. They were just like, every one of our moves, we need to say something now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it so great. Listen, when you can do it like that, the Bucks can they can do a show and they can put themselves over. They don't need another person.
Oh no. I mean,
just with them and the camera.
I don't know how many times I have to say it on this show, any show, I'll say it. The Young Bucks are the greatest tag team on this planet and in the world, by far.
That's a fair statement and a safe statement to make, as far as I'm concerned. Right now, I don't know of anyone in the history either, buddy. To tell you the truth, Holland. I mean, some guys that you can't compare the work though. Like I said, Holland Nash was a really great heel team that were divisive. Like some people just hate the fucking Bucks. You got to get it. You got to understand.
There are certain people I've noticed that being a part of the Facebook page on a lot of people are like, they say Lucha Bros, or some people will say Butcher and the Blade, which I can get it. They're both very talented tag teams. Both have a lot to give. Butcher and the Blade, I love as like a thunder and lightning kind of vibe. And then you got the crazy lucha style from the Lucha Bros, which is fantastic to watch every night with their high-flying, hard-hitting style. But it's just like there's something about the Young Bucks that just always just gravitated me towards them. Plus, I mean, I've also been watching them for over 6-7 years now. So what they can literally take a shit on my fucking kitchen sink right now. I'd be like, well, I'll just clean this up. You guys have a great day. I'll catch you on the flip side. Like,
next time when I pick you up at your grandpa's house, I'm shitting all over the place. Okay, and you got to clean up the doo doo.
You got to not the Young Bucks. I will make you clean that shit up.
I won't though. Let's watch it. Not okay. I've done more for your career than those two.
That's very true.
So now who's shit? Now tell the world whose shit you're cleaning up, Greg. All right, you better have the clock and the bucket ready. You're a good motherfucker, Greg. Let's move on because you keep sidetracked. I want to say some things here. Moving forward in the show, how me and you were predicting the future. I saw a couple things. I will say this much: I don't get Luchasaurus, and I never will. Not saying I don't love Jungle Boy Jack Perry, okay?
Although he's going to get murdered next week.
The reasons why Marco's stunt will never work. Heels need to small guys need to be heels. Look at the little guy in the Regulators. Perfect example. People want to see a big guy. Who's your big generic face number one? The real tall guy with long hair. He's ripped in IWC. They love when that big guy grabs the little deputy and slam him.
Bill Collier?
I don't know. Yeah, Bill Collier. So I want to say this much. Luchasaurus' timing is really looking good lately. And I think a couple weeks ago, Britt Baker wrestled, and she probably wrestled the best match. Her timing is way improved. So somehow this message is getting to her. And she's listening to me. So I have nothing to say. You know what? I love to be standard corrected, but the past is the past, and I've said what I've said. But you know what? Boy, good. You're good now. I mean, hey, keep it up, and that shows me they are taking these guys in the back and still working with them, working with them.
For sure.
You know, Wardlow and Elijah Dean now working a program on. So there goes our chances of getting Elijah Dean. Woo! Johnny Patch's title. Here's what happened. You know,
let's talk about someone who is transcending, someone that you talk about often, and someone who's been growing on me more and more, and someone who's actually probably one of my more favorite people in AEW, Eddie Kingston. He is literally he's coming from being not squashed, but beaten pretty in an AEW TNT title match maybe 2 or 3 months ago against Cody Rhodes.
That wasn't a squash. That was a brawl, dude.
It was, but at the end, we all knew the outcome of it. No one really thought Eddie Kingston was going to win. So to me, that's what I identify as a squash. If you can already predict the outcome of a match, that to me is a squash already.
But it's hold on though.
It's a personal thing.
No, that's not a squash. And see, here's the difference. I view that as Eddie respecting what that man built and the title around him. And Eddie said it on Jericho's podcast. If Cody would have said, you're laying down in 3 minutes and then you're going back to the Indies, kid, he said, I would have been thankful for that opportunity. Because Eddie sold his Eddie didn't even have wrestling gear. He got stuck like in Corona or whatever. Sold his wrestling gear to pay his effing mortgage. That's how broke this dude was. Decided to cut a promo, got a chance, and said, and you know, Jericho was shooting. He's like, no, man. He goes, I was fucking appreciative. He goes, yeah, in the back of my head, he goes, I'm hoping to impress somebody. The next thing you know, QT Marshall called him back, and they want to do something with him. They're going to put him with these guys.
Exactly.
And everything from Eddie's got the finger touch. He's got gold right now.
Oh, for sure. Because even whenever he came out on the promo, like as soon as he did his promo, walking out to go meet Cody, like first off, you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And he just keeps talking. It was like, now I can't take my eyes off this guy. Now I want him to win. And then he ends up taking the L to Cody, and you're like, well, fuck, that sucks. I hope this guy comes back because I want more. Then here he comes months later, and now this guy is honestly what him and Moxley are doing right now is phenomenal, and I am buying into it every part. I know Simon Miller from What Culture, he's not really buying into it, which is way crazy to me. I don't know how, but this is probably going to be one of the better feuds, and more hard hitting than what we thought we were going to get out of Lance Archer and John Moxley. Because honestly, I wasn't sold that from the rip. Lance Archer is not. He's a great wrestler. He's going to be mid-card talent to me. I wouldn't want him as my heavyweight.
Lance could be great in Japan, but you know what Lance needs over here? Maybe just being a good big enforcer in a faction for a few years. I'm not sure. I love Jake. I don't know if I'm getting Jake. I love Jake. Look at me and when I say this. I love Jake. Okay? When I heard Jake was stuck in a room and he was tweeting like, "This is tough, boys," when he was on lockdown, I was ready to drive to wherever that motherfucker was and like, "Look, dude, you got a fan out in the parking lot. I'm not a stalker, but I'm out here to let you know we don't want that bottle back in your hand." Listen, if you can save one person, Greg, you understand me? If you can save one person. That's how much I love Jake the Snake Roberts. I don't know if I love the Hawk that much. Mr. Mohawk.
I'm not crazy about him. I wasn't crazy about him.
The Mohawk monster.
I've been on record at Ring of Honor shows when he's wrestling with Davey Boy Smith saying, "Hey, nice tramp stamp." Like, I was notorious for making fun of him. I didn't care for him then. I don't care for him now.
Well, there you go. And folks, having said that, not much more going on in the wrestling world.
We covered most of it. I don't know if we touched on the Cody Brody dog collar match and how awesome that was. I feel like we have. But
I thought we did. No, you know what? We might have not. Well, okay.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. So I don't want to backtrack so much. And there is actually one more thing I've written down here as well. But the Cody Rhodes Brody match, the dog collar match for the TNT title, which was now 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
My God, those guys did everything they could to make sure they left it all out there, and they did.
Yeah.
And it can show. And if you watch this week's Dynamite, they showed like the lacerations and the bumps and the bruises all over Cody's back and his neck. That's why it was all taped up. But
I think it's unnecessary. I don't know. I'm not really into super violent, hardcore like ECW shit. I think the belt should have stayed on Brody for the time being. I don't know why. I don't know why we give it back to Cody after he goes off. Sets the great example of going and doing that other show. Kayfabe and an injury. Maybe there was one. I don't know.
Well, I do remember you saying that you don't know the direction of Cody before we even got into this match, so I can kind of get that vibe from you.
Yeah, so I'm just checked. I'm like just checking out of massive stories. And like I'm over Hangman and Kenny. I'm over the fucking Bucks and can't get a fucking win on anybody. Like, okay, you have to just follow the inner circle because they're the only fuckers that win. You know what I mean? Like, you just look for the Jericho segments. I'm finding myself, and that sucks. But
well, I do got one more thing, and I know I don't like to talk about WWE too often, but something I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, Raw's been pulling over 1.1 million viewers over the last 2 weeks. Do you think this is going to be a concurring thing, or have you been keeping up with the product on Monday nights, or just WWE in general? I necessarily have not. I do most of my WWE watching via reading the news, like reading what's going on, because I just can't bring myself to watching a fucking show about a draft that they're just like naming. They have a piece of paper like this, and they're just like, oh, well, Dean Ambrose is going to CZW, and Bob the Builder is going to Nicktoons. Like, it's stupid. It completes it's not fun to watch the draft be dealt that way, like an NFL draft. We wanted to watch an NFL draft, we watched an NFL draft. Way back then when they originally did this draft, it was let me put somebody randomly on a screen and keep it all up to chance, and then no one knows. And then you get the backstage reaction to that person having to switch brands. Like that's what made the WWE draft.
You can't do that with exciting. Corona, Greg. It's a new world.
You can't do it. You can't do anything.
You can't judge any entertainment right now by what we're all going through in some smaller way. Some are handling it better and more clever than other ways. This is how they have to do it. But if you're gonna get on here and make the groundbreaking news that WWE has yet again done something stupid, I think everyone's gonna go, yeah. We could literally sit here and have the same conversation, take out wrestlers X, Y, and Z and plug them in with any random 3 wrestlers on that roster, and we could have the same conversation about why does that work, and why is this feud made, and any of it. And the things that do work well, they don't know how to still work well. You know, they'll it's been a 4 long before they're gonna drive fucking Bray Wyatt and his new the fucking guys came back from the grave with a new guy. How many gimmicks are you blessed with in your career that are hit? Bray Wyatt's gonna come back with this demon guy, gimmick, and they'll drive that fucking thing right into a train. When Goldberg feels like coming back and doing whatever the fuck, he'll get that. You know what I mean? So whatever. I mean, listen, I'd rather watch a fucking History Channel than WWE. And really that's what you're doing when you talk WWE. They're riding a wave of good shit that happened in the 90s. Whatever.
So you don't think they're going to keep up having 1 million viewers on Raw the next couple weeks? Because I mean, it's 2 weeks.
It's like it's a moot point to me. I don't care. I hope they do enough that the TV shows, the networks don't cancel them. That's where I hope Raw goes. I don't want to see anybody lose job, but I really don't give a shit about it. I really don't.
I don't care about either. I was going through like the list of wrestling stuff that I had today, and I was like, well, this would be kind of like something interesting to bring up at least. Because I mean, 1 million viewers back-to-back weeks on Monday night, that's pretty interesting.
Listen, if WWE disappeared tomorrow, all the wrestlers would find homes either in Japan, TNA, AEW, or Ring of Honor, NWA. Everybody would be fine. All right. There'd be a lot more market share to work with in wrestling, and it'd be maybe the greatest thing to unhinge all this unification that Vince did in the fucking late 70s and early 80s. Maybe it's time shit goes back into the power of the smaller, and listen, that could be the way the world's going.
Well, I think that's all it is for wrestling. I don't have anything else to say. Good luck to WWE. I don't think they're doing it for 3 weeks straight, though. That's basically where I wanted to get at. I wanted to get some thoughts. There's no way you're doing it 3 straight weeks. You're getting lucky with the draft. And truthfully, with their draft and who I've seen went to Raw and who went to SmackDown, I feel like SmackDown is still the more superior show regardless.
Well, there you heard it. WWE and Vince McMahon, the ghost named Greg, has said,
it sucks.
You're out. Greg, before we move into PVGA, I want to talk about a nice guy I met last week. I had a hot tub on my deck on the house I'm selling. Okay? And I needed to get rid of this thing. When I called this guy up, TJM Junk and Debris Removal. Listen, called this guy up. I think his name was Tyler, I forget. But super helpful dude, got a nice big 10-ton dump truck. Cut this thing up for me in pieces, hauled away. He was done in an hour, swept up his mess, and was out of there. Anybody in the area south of Pittsburgh, north of Morgantown, I couldn't find. Waste management doesn't help you. Everybody wants to drop a dumpster off in my yard and let you do the work. This guy came and did the work. All right? He also, his family can do demolitions on homes too, so I definitely want to give this dude a shout out because he was hard to find. And anybody out there, it's TJM Junk and Debris Removal, 724-825-1038. And hey, just tell them those crazy guys over at Inertia and the PVGA sent you,
Mm-hmm. For sure. Make sure you
hey, listen, he'll get all this. Whitlatch should call him and get all those clearance bins out of there. That's what you should do with all that GameStop clearance bins. Call the junk guy. All right, Greg. The PVGA. What do you know? What do you know about it, you sassy little bird?
We had a lot of interesting things coming from the flagship with another video coming out last week. I went a little bit in depth with it on my video that I put up on Sunday on my Facebook. If you haven't checked out, it's facebook.me/ghostnamegreg. That will be where I'll be posting a majority of my PVGA updates, a little bit of probably like a video or two a week. And I actually discussed it, and I'm just curious on where you think that the flagship may compete, because he started off with a little bit of NHL, wanting to some Destiny, some Call of Duty. the guy seems to be a renaissance man. So are you worried about him and maybe coming into the champs den, into the fighting area at some point in time?
No. Next question.
All righty.
The better question is, the guy put a hockey match up.
Yeah.
It's clear where he's going.
Well, he went from hockey to Destiny. I mean, the guy seems like he's trying to not just dabble in one.
The guy put a hockey match up. He has a hockey match up. It's not. He has a full hockey match up in the sports division already. He has a win already. It's clear where he's going.
I fucked that up. I got the video from like 2 weeks ago in my brain. But yes, he is going to be in the sports division. So what are your thoughts on what the flagship's going to be doing in the sports division? Do you feel like he's a threat to AC Station anyway, who I believe is up for a big match soon?
I don't know. I mean, I think.
But I mean, as a competitor,
the stages. I don't think anybody should be asking anything yet as far as over here. I want to see if these guys are PVGA pros. Then they just need to be. I want to see why they're here. Let's find out. I don't know. Austin don't have nothing around his waist yet. Austin just happens to be number one because he's conveniently the first guy around. All right. Now we're gonna see. Who's playing a better game?
Mm-hmm. But I guess that's the question I'm getting at. Who do you think can play a better game between the two of them? If you had to pick, I mean, you've seen enough. I mean, you're part
I haven't. I've watched. They both got a game in the third period and then went to overtime, sudden death. Right?
Yeah, but one was down 3-1. The other one was up or down 1-2. They do say the worst lead to have in hockey is a 2-goal lead.
Well, I don't think I'm a guy that says this: a win is a win is a win. All right. The only time a win's not a win is if you can also give mercy and grant something extra to your opponent. All right.
So you're saying them doing overtime was a mercy?
Can you? Well, I consider putting it down. And if I'm going to show and showcase a match, I want to showcase a great moment. Do I want to showcase a 10 versus 1 loss or victory?
Yeah,
I'm smashing everything because obviously people go, okay, you lucked out into a hey, you got a nice cheap one here. Good luck because it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, you just played a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah,
played the game for
and that's what I mean. We're talking realistically. We're talking ranked matches. Say what you want. It's not easy. And the other thing is, anybody comes into the fighting division, I do something that no one ever wants to talk about, and all the sports experts like you in the video games, I give fucking mercy. I give mercy when I play ranked matches. You know how hard it is to win one ranked match? Anybody ever played a Mortal Kombat match online out there? You know how hard it is? Now,
I can't say I played a Mortal Kombat. I played a Tekken ranked match, and
I live and die by the mercy. If I lose, I lose. But you know what? 99% of the time, if I get beat, they don't give mercy back. All right? It separates me from the rest of the pack. When you watch Pastry Kings play Mortal Kombat, it looks like remember those rock and sock and robots? Remember
I played with those a lot. Yep.
That's what it looks like. And I go, oh boy. And he's wanting to know who I'm bringing. Pastry Kings. I'm up here. Look where I'm at. All right. I don't have to bring nothing. You got to climb up the ladder to get here. And one thing's for sure. If you get to the top, I'll be waiting for anybody. Once they get up there, I'll be waiting with my hand to pull you up to my level. All right. And say, hello, kid. It's cold up here on top. All right. But be careful that I don't just push you all the way back to the bottom. One thing's for certain, that's there. So I'm not really concerned with anything that's going on like down here because I'm up there. Okay, I'm up here. So all I was thinking, say is things. Pastry Kings can paint all over my buddy's house. Flagship can come with this mask. War Dog can say some mythical stuff, and it's all good, man. Because what I do is everybody else should be proven why they're here. I just do what I do. I win because I'm the champ, and that's what I do. It's very simple. I'm not looking here to be a better man or be a great role model, outstanding champion. No, man. I'll shoot on this shit, man. This is a fucking promise to a dead fucking friend right here. That said one day, man, who the PVGA is and me being the champion, we formulated some of these things in 2012. All right? That's how long some of this has been going on. All right? And if I didn't get kicked in the ass in December by a good friend of mine, none of this would be happening. And that's a shoot truth, Greg. All right.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So with the subject of Pastry Kings that we were on just for a little bit, is there still some beef between the two of you?
I can't elect at this time to speak about that. I have to plead the
fair
fifth.
Play. You plead the fifth. You were allowed. You were a competitor. Right now, I'm just asking you competitor questions because I want to know from the champ and the guy who's on top. I want his thoughts and these points on things.
I can't say anything to this but down. My poor, sweet little Brian Medlin had to scrub that paint off my buddy's wall. We're not happy about that.
So you felt it. Now, you said before on the last pod that you didn't want any fines to come down on Pastry Kings, but there happened to be one anyway. Do you feel?
Oh, I don't care.
Still feel the same, or?
I mean, if you get caught, you get caught. All right. Okay, that's how I feel. You get caught, you get caught. All right. But and I mean, hey, if he wants to pay $10,000, I'm sure we could use that money for some good thing. I'm just saying that sometimes you don't just throw your plans out there.
Throw your plans out there. He will. I am sure of it. And I'm still waiting to hear from War Dog, man. Like, we recorded that podcast a little while ago, and he did post something on Facebook cryptically that he was probably getting ready to release a video, but I haven't seen anything yet.
He's
still waiting to hear from War Dog. He's very cryptic.
He's cryptic, I don't know. I mean, what can you say about him?
I'm literally on the edge of my seat.
I don't know if War Dog's a competitor or not. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what he does. I'm looking forward to really. I want to see our women get out there and really start showing what they can do. If you guys want to check out the Mage of Gaming and her, she does some streams on the weekends. Check her out. Interact with her. She's going to be one of the first female PVGA pros out there, and that's where we're going, man. To the moon.
Very, very entertaining. I believe she's been playing a little bit of Warzone as of late, if I'm not mistaken.
You look like Johnny Cash sitting over there in the dark.
That's what I'm looking at.
Why is my room the brightest room? The brightest room, man. Like, I see that it doesn't balance out.
I got to
balance out my Mortal Kombat.
I got the new ring lights, so I'm messing around with a couple settings. This is one of the ones I'm messing with for this episode. You guys will see many videos of me just messing around with different lighting.
We know. Listen, there's a lot of videos out there you just messing around. All right.
That's very true. I mess around a lot, but that's how I learn.
Well, that's how everybody learns, Greg. Congratulations, you figured life out.
You got to play the game. I believe that was a theme music at one point in time.
Greg, I'd love to sit here and talk to you the rest of the night, but I gotta go. I gotta continue with this room, working on this collection, working on this. I'm just glad the system is up and running, kind of where I had it. Yes, we can take phone calls live, but no one knows when we're live because we're never going to be live. So, but
I wouldn't say never.
There will be some phone calls of some certain fans. We're going to have people calling in, and we can also have some Zoom guests over here. But more things to come, I promise you guys, after the move. The champ will be full-time back. My wrist injury is good. I actually have a match in the bank right now. I won another one a couple nights ago. but I don't have the promo done yet because my life's a crazy mess right now, moving, selling. So bear with me. I'm being a piss poor champion right now, and if it was up to me, I would have been stripped of this belt. But I'm glad that the PVGA is working with me on this.
And I also have an interview with AC Station. Actually, later this evening, it should be up. I don't know when this is coming on, so it would probably be up.
By the time they see this, they'll see that. So
yeah, so the video will be up. So make sure you guys go and check that out on Facebook, and it will also be on the YouTube channel. So make sure you guys check it out. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a different part of the PVGA we're going to get into. We're going to get into learning more about the competitors and who they are themselves. It's going to be different than what their personalities have been, videos that we've been showing on Facebook and whatnot. So I hope everyone's going to stick around and enjoy that. So that being said, Jason's got nothing else to say, I'm sure. I got nothing else to say. You guys
I do.
Oh, I'm so sorry for speaking for you.
I do. Don't wrap me up. I wrap me up. Okay?
You do.
I wrap me up. All right. I do want to give a shout out to really one, Nicole Malesic, real estate agent. Took care of me. She will be the official real estate agent of the PVGA. Any fans of the PVGA or PVG pros need anything real estate, she is your person to talk to. Get a hold of me if you can't get a hold of her. And her phone number will be on the screen and her contact info somewhere about now. Also, if you're in the Fredericktown, PA area, stop in at Front Street Pizza. Say hi to my boy, Jason McCloskey. Put his chef in a headlock and say, the champ sent me here. Give me some pizza. All right. This boy's down there perfecting the wings. They just won a chili contest last week. My town does all a bunch of cool things. But great food down that way. If you're ever coming through, stop down. He's right up the street from the Fredericktown Butcher Shop. All right, but stop in, and he has these pizzas that you can take. They're frozen. You can take them home, like pre-made, and you can just pop those bad boys in the oven. Great for gamers, snacking on midnight. You know what I mean? Who am I kidding? I'm in bed by 10:30. Me and my friends are like, it's getting late. Adam works 2 minutes from his bedroom. He's getting late. It's getting late. All right. Greg, now I'm wrapping up. All right, I'm going to wrap her up, buddy, here. Everyone,
go ahead.
So much. Game over.